Oh, yes. I'm just thinking about these plea of confession and avoidance that an answer to the plaintiff's charge, granting that the plaintiff had a right to sue, but stating that his cause of action has already been discharged by false arrest, false police reports, oops, fraudulent use of state court seal, pooch, forgery of ex officio state, violation of RCWs when issuing court. There could be a whole bunch of reasons why the cause of action has already been discharged by some subsequent matter. Yes. Now, this plea of guilty, a confession of guilt made in answer to a formal charge, a plea of guilty is a voluntary plea. You know, I was looking at a photograph of a very attractive woman, full-breasted woman, pooch, and let's say you did sew in and you had the neck muscles and this voluntary plea of guilt. Having been dressed in oranges numerous times when knowing that I was not in Sequim, Washington, yes. Being video arraigned when I did know I was not in Brennan, Washington, yes. And knowing that my rights are violated and you took ownership of my sons without any due process to myself. It's one of those frustrating life experiences that you have when you have had to pay an immense amount of money because somebody else was committing a crime. Oh. Now, I've sat in court before and I've heard the judges read this little blurb about, well, you're making this confession voluntarily, you understand your rights, and all these other things that people say. Yes. And you're pleading guilty and putting yourself at the mercy of the court. Could you give me every guilty plea of all of those that have been accused for the last 20 years in every court of the United States? See, I've had this experience where somebody had to be the bee on me and they loaded me full of electricity and then they said through my mouth something I didn't want to say. Let's say you're in the family and the bee that's on you in court has you confess a guilty plea when you know you didn't commit the crime, but nobody accepts that there is an actual technology that can control what you say. I was thinking of some volunteers last night that like to wear their panties different. There are those that like to pull their panties on, those that like to tie their panties on, and those that like to have very loose-fitting fronts and very tight-fitting backs. Now, let's say that you have a little programming. Oh, and you are the bee that's on you because the bee that's on you fucked you. Pooh. And you get arrested, and for some reason you're confessing to a crime where you can't control what you're saying. Now, for every individual that decided they would plead guilty because the prosecuting attorney said, well, we know they did the crime, the public defender said, well, it would be better for you to plead guilty and just do your 5 days in jail and don't worry about it. When you completely disregard the effect of technology, why don't you give me every guilty fucking plea right now?